Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, my bad, man.
Hey, can you send me that email so I can shoot it to my wife because she don't believe it?
Oh, yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Okay. All right.
All right. Or the text. It's a text.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just text it to me and send it to me and I'll send it to her.
All right. What's up, people? Trying to get it in. I gotta send a text. Trying to get everything cracking today. Hey, man, what's happening? We got some people coming in. The camp. Hey, mother. Got to get ready, man, for this whole. Trying to get everything cracking today. This hey, Cam man, Newton. What's happening? We got some people coming in. The Cam Newton thing is really just bugging the heck out of me. I can't. Yeah, it's that's funny. Cam Newton. Cam Newton situation. I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about it today. I got some topics I'm about to bring out with this topic. Uh, I'm gonna deal with it, from that. I do. I think that is you know, that's yep. What's up, Chris? What's the word? I'm going to Oregon State in April. If you got any kids that might want, yeah, I got you. I got you. We ain't supposed to tell nobody you going in April. Mm-hmm. Hey man, don't get on here doing no business with me, man. With your business Ernesto. Always piggybacking. Crystal, what's going on, mom? I haven't talked to you in a while. I'm not calling you Brittany no more. She's crazy. Big Dave, what's happening, man? So I wanna really go in. I saw Big Dave's comment. I want to show the Cam Newton, the kid going in on Cam Newton. I want to talk a little bit about that. Um, I wanna show that today and talk a little bit about it. Um, but I think more than anything, where's my bag? I want to kind of talk about what we are creating as a group of individuals that are supposed to be mentors. Does this ultimately fall on us? That's my question. Does this does it ultimately fall on us in the sense that do we create a culture? You know what I mean? Like, do we create this culture when in a lot of what we do. I just saw somebody post about kicking the ball, about at 7-on-7s, or people signing balls. Rodney, I like the fact that you say it falls on the parents, but and I totally agree with you. But I also want to know, does it also fall on the mentors and people that we continually have our kids around, and what we say? I'm gonna say some stuff, and I know people think, oh, he talking about this, he talking about that. Anything I say here, I can say live into someone's face. I think if you go back and look at one of my lives, um, um, that me and Coach Fig and we said it live. We talked about it on the live about the signing of the balls and the shades uh, and the kicking of a ball and what have you. What we thought that might bring. I think that the matter of what we're talking about is respect, and I don't think that there's a right. Thank you, Cortez. Chris says I don't do disrespect for to adults. Absolutely, and I think we just come from an era right now, and I'm gonna call some cats out. In the sense that some of y'all getting high with kids, y'all smoking weed with kids. So what makes you think that the kid isn't gonna think he can just go and say something to to a Cam Newton? Um, I think there's so many things that we allow people and kids to get away with. Uh, Big Dave is Big Dave to me. Is he Mr. Is he Mr. or is he Big Dave with respect from a kid? One of my partners said, I don't let kids call me. I'm Coach DJ, Mr. Jernigan. I'm not the deacon to the kids. I'm not Dijon, right? We create it and we feel that it's cool. And what's amazing is, again, is that we're not having these conversations enough until we see something happen. And we see it every day. I see cats, like, I'm not cool with kids cursing around me. I'm not cool with other kids of other nationalities, just nigga, 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 nigga. Y'all let so much go. And then when this happens, it's like, wow. And yeah, we allow it to happen, and there's no respect. And when I go back and I look at, Mr. Lou at the Challengers Boys and Girls Club in South Central, he had a paddle for you. You couldn't say, that's me. I call Mike Smith Mr. Smith still sometimes, and I'm older than him. You know what I mean? We've gotten too lax. And then we sit back and go, that kid. And then you had the nerve that some people start showing pictures of Cam Newton in a Halloween outfit or a dress, and was like, oh yeah, well, what about this? I'm gonna ask some tough questions today. Like, could a guy that you respect shake your kid up? Could he spank your kid? See, we come from a whole nother day. Kids are different, and we allow them to be different. Hey, yo, when you get in my car, I know I just heard you cursing, doing whatever. Don't get in my car with that, or I can't give you a ride. You need to know where I stand. If my kids don't do it, you can't do it. And that's funny that we'll allow certain things. Oh, that's Joe. Oh, that's so and that's so and so, man. He ride with me. Yeah, somebody. It takes a village. I like that it takes a village cliche, but I like more of the fact that we just gonna be. Somebody said old school. You could, but can you? And Dave, I really wish I could hear you say, what do you mean, like the Sergeant Slaughter days? I mean, in the sense that when we talk about having respect for one another, and here's some examples I'm gonna give, and then I'm free. I want people to come on. The examples I'm talking about is when you respect somebody, and they say, man, hey, and they tell you when they drop your kid off, hey, I had to get on your boy. He was yada yada yada, and I laid into him pretty good. So if he tells you XYZ, right? If he tells you XYZ, I'm telling you first, I let him have it. I didn't put my hands on him, but I let him have it. But when we don't respect each other as men, the guys I respect as men, and I know I tell them right, I tell them, see JoJo, get at you, right. A lot of people don't know. When my son went to, I said this, and I said a lot, and I'm glad, you know, I'm excited for him leaving, because I told my son something when Eric Scott, when we went to Nevada, I said to him, I said, the reason my son is going here, and everybody could say, oh, well, you know, he wasn't going to be going there, and he wasn't going to be doing this, and he wasn't going to be doing that. I said, Eric Scott is an extension of me. That's why my son is there. And he can get on my kid all he wants to, get in his tail. And now that my son is leaving, or Eric is leaving, I told my son now, everything that I've taught you, you've been around a great man, a mentor, that nobody needs to tell you know right from wrong. If you do something, that's on you now. And those coaches that are not going to back you or be around, that let you get away with something, they just handicapping you for life. And that's the bottom line. So you already know you better smash mine if you need it. Yeah. And that's the thing. The other thing is a lot of your kids are very disrespectful to adults because they hear you talk about certain people in the car around them. So they think they can disrespect them. A lot of that goes on. I've seen kids, I've done nothing to the kids, and I know the kid now, how the kid treats me now is because what the parent do. We long gone from the day when, hey, get out of here, grown folks is talking. We don't talk in front of you. What I got with that person, I don't want you ever to get in a position where you think you can say what I'm saying to that person. So you need to get up out of here right now. Hey, what's going on? All the kids are in the back. You ain't grown. We stopped doing that. We stopped doing that. I remember my parents used to say, hey, check this out. When y'all get y'all food, y'all get back to where the kids are. Grown folk up here. Whether they were smoking weed, right? Cause that's the problem. We the homie. Oh, I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you, Ernesto. I'm gonna get to Big Dave. I want a few of y'all on. Because this topic is something that we miss every day. Oh yeah. Oh, that was cool. It ain't cool. Oh, did you see little homie bang on little homie? Nah, it ain't cool. Hey man, both of y'all come here. None of that go on. But we allow too much to happen. I'm Mr. Jernigan. I'm Coach D. I ain't the homie. We ain't homies. Cam Newton had a lot of restraint. I wouldn't even been arguing with the kid that I'm rich. And whether I'm rich or not, I'm an adult. Shut your mouth. Go get your daddy, like he said. Go get your dad. I want to talk to your parents. Let's watch it, and then I'm gonna put some people on, because some people told me they didn't hear some of the stuff that the kid had said, and I was like, really? You're free agent. Wait, and I want you guys, when we do look, I want you to hear what the kid. Somebody else told me, they said Dejan, he apologized. I have not seen an apology, and if you have, please let me know. He said you're trash. He also said you're ass. I want you to listen close. You ass. You're free agent. You're free agent. You're free agent. You're about to be poor. I'm rich. You're about to be poor. I'm rich. About to be poor. You're free agent. I'm rich. I'm free agent. I'm rich. He's free agent. Where your daddy is? Let me talk to your dad. Let me talk to your dad. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. Where's your dad? You're a free agent. You're a free agent. You ass. Talk to. Let me. Where's your dad? Where's your pop? Where's your dad?
No, ain't no disrespect. Yeah, you know, if you want some attention, I'm gonna give you some attention. The right way, bro. The right way. When do y'all play? What was your record today then? 22. No, 2-1. What did you do? No, I wasn't able to see because y'all was too. Cameras on me. All right, bro. What did he do, man? Does he play? He got speed. He got speed. No, he's like heavy speed. Oh. Huh? Nah, yeah, don't act shy, nah, bro. Don't act shy. Yeah, I'm asking. I couldn't see today. You watch YouTube. Oh, you watch YouTube? I know you do. You can't watch that across, man. Stop. No, I'm really trying to ask you. Like, I'm trying to see, like, what you. We do that shit for real, though. I'm like, right back to my 5. 205? 215. Okay. I'm just like, please don't be one dimensional. Like you said something to me, then I go, I'm really trying to talk to you. I'm not trying to like crack no jokes. I'm just really trying to ask a simple question. It's your fault why everybody's looking, but I'm really just trying to ask a question. But you never said what you did. You said you don't see.
Where are the adults at?
Coach, it's no disrespect.
I get that. Right?
Coach, we squashed it. We good. I was good.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to break the monotony. Yeah. I'm just trying to talk to him. You think I'm trying to pound him? I'm focusing on you. I'll get my thank you, sir. But y'all don't play no more today, though. Are you good? Y'all play us next?
No, our younger team do. Play the, not a younger team, but a younger guy.
The 18. Y'all 18.
18. Yes,
okay,
yes,
this
sir.
15. Yeah. All right.
Yo, Viper, let's go over there.
Hey, come on, in the back of that.
Are you kidding me? I would have been on his head. I don't care what he say. I gotta be on his head. I don't care what. I would be on his head. Yeah, that's the long version, bro. That's the long. Yeah. Yeah. So who wants to come on, man? You guys can come on. We can have a multiple, you guys. I'm gonna drop the thing in there. Just want you guys to speak one at a time. If you can get on, man. I'm absolutely blown away, man. I can't. There it is. I just put it in the feed. You got Zoom, Chris, Tremel, hey, Big Dave, mental health, right? You know what I mean? Like, is Cam crazy or is the kid crazy? Or did the coach come in? I would have let that kid have it in front of all the kids if I'm the coach. First of all, Cam Newton. Let's go over who Cam Newton is. Junior, high school All-American, went to University of Florida out of high school. Won a national championship with Tim Tebow. Left, went to junior college, won a national championship, came back and went to Auburn, won a national championship and the Heisman, went to the NFL, went to the Super Bowl, was a Pro Bowler, MVP of the NFL, and you mean to tell me you haven't even got a freaking scholarship yet, and you talking to Cam? Are you kidding me? Are you like really? Like this is out of hand, bro. This is Ernesto, what's going on, my brother?
What's going on?
I am absolutely blown away, bro. Jay just said that's the first time he saw the long version. It's mine too. Like, I'm Cam Newton. I'm telling him, I am so rich. This is what I'm gonna do for y'all. What was y'all entry fee? I'm gonna give it to you × 5. Get the heck out of here. Leave.
Right.
You don't talk to me. I'm not talking to you.
Right.
Are you serious? Come on, man. Nah, James, that ain't got nothing to do with no marketing strategies. That's a disrespectful. No, hey, we still haven't seen his daddy yet, right? So, you know, and I just, I don't know, man. Ern, what you got for me, man? Because this generation, I'm like that right there burns me out. So,
I'm gonna go into something that's like, this is the truth. So we have a lot of us, we know all these kids. You know, you got the bounce around kids. They've all played for Pro Way, Ground Zero, Premium, whoever, right?
Right.
I've literally asked kids, or they've told me that they even told they have. I didn't even ask them. They've told me why they don't want to be over here. We have a rule over here at Ground Zero. We don't do all the flips and shit and talk shit. You only can do that if you win a trophy. Period. Right? So if you lose a game in the first round of a tournament, right? Let's just say it's a pool play game. You've seen teams do flips on you guys just because you're a pro way. Just because they beat you in a pool play game, you're a premium, you're a Ground Zero. They'll use that film to say, I beat pro way. They don't say which team. They just say pro way. They'll say premium or Ground Zero, right?
Right.
So it goes back to, yeah, it's part of the parents, but it is on us, the mentors, the trainers, the coaches, because a lot of the times we make more of an impact on the kid's life than their own parent.
And
Kids
this is
talk
why,
to-
and not to cut you off, and this is why my buddy Travell just said his dad may not be in this kid's life. That's why I say it still falls on, it falls on those guys that are around him, like these coaches. See, we deal with what you're talking about, and even me and Fig had this conversation. We're talking about cultural things that happen.
Right.
Culturally, in some senses, we are very loud. We like to be, we do what we do. But at the end of the day, there is some other things in the cultural, there's some things in the culture that says you grew up in the same neighborhood. We grew up. Everybody knew Mr. Lou at the Challengers Boys and Girls Club. Everybody knew that Lou had that SWAT, and he would tear your head off with it. And my mother, who's on here, gave consent, and I had a father. My father gave consent, right? So at the end of the day, we live in this era where the single mother ain't nobody gonna say nothing to my baby, and then let you, and then she be the same one. It take a village, but the minute you reprimand her son for doing something wrong, it's gonna take a village to put something on his books. Because at the end of the day, he gonna be locked the heck up. So at the end, my thing is it's too much flip-flopping. It take a village over here, but then it's okay to do this, and then when he act a fool. Like I tell my kids all the time, my wife's a teacher.
Right.
I'm always riding with the teachers.
All day.
I know what your mama deal with. So you can't come in here and say the teacher did this and the coach said this. I'm riding with them. I'm riding with them till I see that they're wrong. Right? Now, I'm going to come and have my conversation. I've done it. And if I think you're wrong, I'm going to say you're wrong. But at the end of the day, a lot of this, man, is crazy. And what we call okay is not okay, man.
No, you absolutely right. But going back to my point, so like I said, I've had kids tell us, well, I want to go play with him because I can act like a nigga. Period. Straight up to my face. I can act like a nigga. They let us do what we want. They let us do what we want to do.
Wasn't I standing with you when one of them told us that at East LA?
Hey, and remember, that's a 4-star athlete that's going to a Power 5 university, remember? Yeah. We had to talk. We was at the Rivals camp, remember?
Okay, I was gonna say, I think I was standing right there.
We were standing right there, right? Okay. And that was more than one kid who said that.
Right.
We like going over there because we can act like niggas and we can do what we want. So that's a reflection of that organization and that team because that's how they do it. And that's cool. If you want to go do that and they allow it and you with it and you feel like we holding you back from acting like a nigga, then do that. You understand? But somewhere down the line, it's going to catch up with you. You know, like I sent you the apology that the kid supposedly sent to ESPN and to Cam Newton. I texted to your phone right now.
Okay. Because I said somebody else had told me, and my brother E told me, and I was trying to find it, and I said, So I got it right here. I got it. And
like I said, like you went back to talking about the signing of the football, the kicking of the football. Me personally, I didn't have a problem with it. You know why? Because we would tell our kids if we did play against Premium, and with the kicking of the ball and the signing of the ball, the simple thing we tell our quarterbacks is don't throw a fucking pick. Period. You know what I'm saying? You throw the pick, it's gonna get kicked. You know what I'm saying? If you get it intercepted.
But let me ask you this, Ernesto, and what's up, Big Day? Isn't that part of the game? Don't quarterbacks throw picks?
Exactly.
Don't DBs make interceptions? So shouldn't we?
Exactly.
So shouldn't we act like we've gotten an
Right. Act like you've been there before.
like
Act
been
like
there
you've done it.
before? So
Right. But
so
that's the culture that they brought to the table, and that was not only accepted by their players, but other organizations who start imitating them and started doing them. It's a gang of kids who I see now from other organizations wearing the shades, barely wearing the 7-on-7 helmet on their head. You know, want that they're putting on that premium swag and not premium kids. And I mean, that's just what it is. Kids imitate and emulate what they see because they think it's cool. Like you said, the loudest. That goes back to hood shit. When you pulled up on the Shaw, the nigga who had the most banging 808 probably had the most girls around him, right? He had the loudest music. His car was his car had the rims. You know what I'm saying?
But it comes back to what we sanction as well as men.
Right. And that's why I said
it comes back to when you walk by somebody, and Dave, I'm coming to you right now. It comes back to you when you walk by somebody and say, hey, pull your pants up. Put that helmet all the way down on your head. Hey,
right.
Man, you kick that ball, go get that kid's ball. Right? I'm talking to a Dave, a dad of a quarterback, and every quarterback dad will tell you the kid got his own ball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I bought my son 3-4 of these balls because he trains with them, and he takes his favorite ball out there, he throws a pick, and you sign it with a Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
You're creating the culture to start fights and stuff that we don't want.
True,
so
true that, but you got to know going into playing against any type of premium team, it's a possibility that's going to happen.
And I'm not saying I want you to say this, Ernesto, and I know you're saying premium. I'm just saying
because they started that culture. Now everybody else that, for one, they started that culture, that they brought that to the table.
Well, I know there's been an argument about the shades because
premium up, baby, premium up.
I heard Darnay and those guys wore the shades at one time. So Pro Way did the shade thing. The kicking of the ball, I did see that there. The signing of the ball somewhere. I mean, the Florida kids like to pull out the smoke.
Right. And the beanie and wear the beanies and all that.
There's a cultural thing that happens, right? But at the end of the day, there's a line of disrespect. So Dave,
a line has to be drawn. But like I said, it goes back to the way that organization runs it and the way that they control their staffs for their teams.
But I think we don't want to ever put just anybody in a bag, because I'm gonna go here and say, and Maury, be quiet. Maury, you guilty. We all are guilty as men because we sanction some things. We don't know. Sometimes we do it unconsciously. We can say something and a kid think, oh, it's cool. Coach did it.
Right. And I'm gonna keep it 100. When we played and we won the Battle Miami tournament last year, right? The day before we did the pull-up, right? They blew up. Remember, I went off on Under the Radar. They put that video up so fast. Okay, now let's go back to the picture of Hawkins doing the dog pissing on the team, right? That was the biggest thing. This is a grown man. He's a CEO of Ground Zero Company / coach or whatever, a recruiter, however you want to put him in a bag. And this man is on the ground doing the dog piss. But see, what nobody knows is the day before at that pull-up, the coach from that team, DEFCON, told his whole team, piss on those West Coast. So you just see that in the video when their whole team was doing that at the pull-up, right? So that was only response from the night before, right? When their coach is telling them, piss on those West Coast kids, piss on the West Coast, piss on Ground Zero, piss on California. So that was just response to that. But everybody looking at it from one perspective, like this grown man is out here because they won a championship, like they've won other championships before.
Here's the greatest response y'all had. Y'all won the championship.
Right.
That was the greatest. You didn't have to do all the other stuff. The greatest response was, I won. Go ahead, Big Dave. Talk to me, Big Dave.
All I want to say is, well, people, I worked in Pomona Unified School District. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I just want people to understand the type of kids that we deal with nowadays. You're talking about a kid who has no problem cussing out a police officer. This is a man of the law.
Yeah.
For you kid to respect you, a regular person, a citizen. So I'm not mad at the kid for what he did to Cam. I mean, I wish that's where it comes to me, mental health, what we talked about. You don't know what that kid mental state is. That kid is hard for a reason. He from the hood. So he no matter who Cam is, we teach that kid, no matter who anybody, maybe he has to deal with that situation the way he fired back that Cam.
Absolutely.
To him, he hungry. To him, he trying to be Cam. You know what I mean? It's like when 50 Cent came out, he was banging on everybody. Nobody knew who he was. That's how he got big. So that's why, to me, when I see that kid go off like that, I don't feel sorry for him. To me, I feel like he a kid that want to get to where Cam is at. You know, when I'm working in security, I had to give a little bit of my respect to the kid in order to gain a whole bunch of respect back to me. Right. When I said Sergeant Slaughter, you know, back in the days, like you talk about, back in the days, we could tell them, hey, put that down. You know, like, but I'm talking about in a setting like at a school. You know what I mean?
Right.
That we would listen. Nowadays, you try to tell a kid, hey, get over here. That kid will look at you and flip you the finger. Like, who the hell are you? They don't, it's just a different time. That's all I'm trying to say. You know?
It is. The millennials.
Yeah, these kids, to me, Cam, I felt like Cam, it's not in the wrong, but Cam could have just kept it pushing. A kid is just saying what he's saying. He's a kid.
Well, I think Dave, I think Cam handled it in one way wrong with the I'm rich.
Yeah.
I think that was wrong, but I think that Cam handled it the other way when he came over to talk to him and try to talk to him. Dave, I really respect what you're saying in this sense, is that my father always taught me there's a beginning to what is happening on the end, or the Bible says, out of the mouth the heart speaketh, right? So something's going on in that kid right now that was bigger than just that particular moment. We live in a social media age, so we could take that snippet and go, oh my God. But at the end of the day, the adult has to set the tone. The adult there's something that has to be done. What I would have liked to have seen was his coach come in and say, before we do anything, Cam, first, I apologize as the head coach of this football team for this young man. We're here at your event. We're here with you. First, I'm going to apologize. Can I have you and him step aside and go over here and have a conversation so he can understand? See, the other side of it is we have no respect for history. And I got to say this before this get away from me, because I'm going to tell my brother Ernesto on live, because we all do it, right?
Yeah.
We all from some certain neighborhoods, but how do we tell the kids to stop banging when we still banging as coaches on each other? Right? We banging, I'm going to pull up, oh, nigga, on me, on my mama, blah, blah, blah. And then when the kid do it, we sit back and go, man, I got to go over here and holler at this little dude, man, because he done lost. No, you just did it. He sees it. He knows it. We speak about it. So we can't be hypocritical in what we do, how we do it, and then turn around and want to shake the kid up. We got to look at it and understand, man. And I'm saying this to you, brothers, because we're powerful. All of us are powerful in what we do in the communities that we're working on. And just remember that everybody's watching. All the kids are watching. It's gonna be that time, Ernesto, that kid gonna come back, you're gonna be like, Coach, man, you know, when he got a job, his first job interview, thank you, man. If it ain't already happened, it's already happened to Dave. It's gonna happen to Chris. Chris is gonna come from another side. So I'm gonna ask him from the military side. Some of these cats couldn't even go to boot camp.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
When you get that cat in your face, where you at? Where you from, boy? Man, this man, you get on my face. Man, he'll be home in a week.
Now they freeze up. Huh? They freeze up. They tough. They tough on the internet.
Yes,
just
sir.
just like the kid, he was tough in front of all his friends. But then when Cam said, "What did you do today?" Oh, he's
It
silent.
changed up. Yeah.
Silent as a mouse.
Yeah.
Like, and it be kids like that who ain't on top of their game, who wants the funnies and the jokes because they talent ain't speaking for itself.
Well, I
Right.
think Justin Holman just put up his film, and so we can all watch his film if we want, because that was one of my other questions too. If we found out, and I'll go around right here real quick. If you found out this kid was a 5-star, would you recruit him?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
I'm cool. I'm
Absolutely
cool
not.
because
Absolutely not.
he ain't trying to learn nothing. He just there for the laughs, really. And I'm pissed at his coach. His coach is bummed to me for not saying nothing. Where was you at when he was talking all this shit?
Right.
My thing with the coaching thing was his coach there, because you know a lot of our kids walk off and go look at other games.
When he first started on,
I'm sure everybody start hearing the ruckus. I'm sure when Cam stops, everybody notices. I'm sure of it. But the biggest thing is like when you come at a person like that, or that statue, you can only pray to have his kind of career.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless he a free agent or not, you could pray to win a Heisman, bro. Like,
right.
I don't care how many 5-stars out of all our kids. What? I see 2 in the Heisman race. I mean, you know, it's 3 kids I know of that have legit shots.
Right.
DJ, Jaden Daniels, and Bryce, depending on how much, you know, Bryce play, whatever, right?
Right.
But them are the only kids that, you know how hard it is? And for them to be disrespectful to Cam as adults, even like back in the day when we played for Premium, we was booting people ball. You know how many fights we had? 0.
Hey,
right.
You know,
0. Because it comes from the parents too. Mm-hmm. It comes from the parents. Like we had 0 fights on how many balls we kicked, and we kicked a lot. We didn't have 0 fights.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's about the parents too, because my son, like I tell my son, when my son got hurt, I never forget it, and that's why I found some respect for, like, more respect for Armand. JoJo got hurt in the game against GZ. Armand was the first one over there to make sure he was straight. And it's a respect thing between the adults and the kids. My son ain't never, like, I'd be damned if my son go to Big Dave and be like, "Fuck you, Big Dave." Big Dave, if you don't check the fuck out of him,
right,
like, literally.
Your kid,
you know what I mean? Right. It's a respect thing, and it got to come from the parents because they see it. Like,
I think it does, and Chris, I think it also comes back to our difference in our competitive nature as men. I can remember Dave Mount Sac, Pasadena games. Man, we can say we don't like each other. When the game was over, Big Dave, where is it happening in Pomona at the night? We trying to get out, we out here, right? Ernesto, what's cracking? You know what I mean? Like, these kids have no autonomy for after the game, that we're not enemies. Between the lines, we gonna go at it. But at the end of the day, hey, Big Dave said, "Come to Diamond Bar. It's a barbecue. I'm coming. I'm going to mess with my Pomona homies over. You know what I mean? I'm finna go kick you." And that's the part that's missing today. And because you guys said it, the parents don't say, "Hey man, y'all can be cool after the game. Shake his hand." But when you got a whole group of adults going, "We ain't shaking nobody's hand. Y'all get in the van. Let's go."
Right.
That's what you're creating.
Now, I will say this. I always say we the adults, we do fuck it up for the organization standpoint, because it always used to amaze me where you got adults, you know, banging on each other or whatever, or talking shit. But after those games, the kids was all together.
They're all hanging out.
They were all hanging out together. These like, I'm looking at the kids like, the kids, we need to be taking notes from these kids.
Oh man, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Because me, I'm cool with everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with Fig. Me and Fig have chopped it up on a whole other level outside of 7-on-7, like the streets of LA and like where we come from. You know what I'm saying? And me and him are from 2 conflicting hoods, but it's bigger than that. We just talk about like other shit. I love what the Twins is doing. Always cool with them. Nothing matters to me about Pro Way, Premium, you know, Eat, Grind. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, when I look at the kids, I'm like, look at these kids, man. One just took a loss, one just got a W, and they all smiling. They all care for it. They care for each other. It's like sometimes you got to put so much of once it start being competitive and it start getting personal, that's when it's not fun no more.
But
You know that.
the fine line between the kids having an understanding of what competitive and what personal is. I say it all the time. Some of y'all are not friends with people that you grew up with in Pop One or youth football because your kid's measurables outgrew that kid, and this one is upset because she thinks or he thinks that his kid is just as good as yours and not getting a pub, and now they don't talk to this guy anymore. You know what I mean? They don't talk. You got families that are just upset because some different things happen and kids' lives go another way, and it's crazy. It's absolutely, and it's the adults. I watch in our league. I told Eric, I said, I'm going on the field because I can feel the energy. Come on, y'all. We from LA. We grew up in the 80s around the back. Y'all knew when y'all got to that party, y'all be like, hey, it's time to go. You got that feeling. You knew what it was. I told him, I said, it's about to go down. I couldn't halfway get to the field, Dave. They was running across. It was going down because I've been around it enough, and it starts in the fan. It starts with in the crowd with the moms and the dads and and he got, and I'm gonna tell you another one, man. We have to watch. We have to watch. Social media is the devil because when you think you're posting something that you want, everybody's not happy for you. That's why it said, don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. Sometimes you got to just say, you know what? Thank you, Lord, and let it be. Sometimes we're egging on the 47th offer. What kid that doesn't have one? And I'm not telling you as a father, it's hard. Yeah. It's hard. I want to celebrate my kid just like everybody else. But at the end of the day, sometimes I'm going, you know what? Sometimes it's just good to just let this one go because somebody else is out there. It's messing this kid up. And I know it sounds crazy, but at the end of the day, when we really care, we just have to sit back. I read your post, Dave, about your about Matayo. I read about him, right? And I'm going, look at my dude, you know, and I got to get that one-on-one fade and hoop. I got to get him. But at the end of the day, I read it from a father's perspective, not a braggadocious perspective. But somebody else may read it as that. You see what I mean? And so we got to sometimes deal with it and go, is it time to post that? Where do I post that? You know, what am I trying to get out of it? Am I getting the glory? Is the kid getting the glory? What is it? You know what I mean? Because sometimes it happens.
Look, the one thing that's good, I'm a person that'll man up to my. In the beginning with DJ, yes, I was that guy you was talking about. My son. At the end of the day, it's called jabbing. I was just jabbing everybody because I had the trump card. At the end of the day, DJ was the number one player in the country. So nobody could tell me nothing. That's the person I used to. I'm just telling you. That was how to be. I learned. I did. I learned. This is what I learned. Just like what you telling me. All you really need is one offer. You know. My thing about Matayo, I knew he doesn't have any film as a freshman. He doesn't have any film as a sophomore. So as a father, I'm going to say I just took the same principles and what I did with DJ and applied it to Matayo. And then I said, you know what? What if I could take those same principles and apply it to other kids? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's what I'm doing now. I'm grateful for the opportunity and the stage that was created. I didn't know it was created. Eventually, finally, somebody told me, Dave, you got a platform to be able to do this. So to me now, that's the best part about it. You learn from your mistakes, you know. Definitely. I was causing
and Dave, I give you all the kudos in the world because it takes a man to be able to say, yeah, I was on that. And I was too. You know why I was on it? Because my dude is 5'10", 5'9", and he was winning Nike opening MVPs and he wasn't getting the pub, and I was mad. And yeah, I was like, I'm flooding it too. Y'all gonna flood it, I'm gonna flood it. You know what I mean? And
I
I'm like,
think as a father, you're supposed to do that because I mean, I always tell my parents of any 7-on-7 team that I have, and I started at the bottom at Ground Zero, and I always tell each and every parent, make sure you have your camera on. If you have a camera phone, get those clips of your kid because that's important. That little piece that you're doing is important, and then you're getting the parent involved in that little small part of the recruiting process. But you do have parents that are doing what? They're over there talking.
Yes.
They're smoozing with parents who kids probably already have 2 or 3 offers and they're dropping the ball. So then they're calling you. I just had a call from a parent. They're calling you going, well, how can I get my son recruiting some exposure? You've been at every tournament. I told you what to do and you're not doing it. Now you're mad because you're talking about the kids that's in his class, but you're dropping the ball. We can only do so much. And then they're not understanding and they're ill-informed of what's going on with the NCAA. And then the decline where they hold back the college coaches from recruiting and the transfer portal. So now you have those parents they looking at, well, he keeps posting Mateo. Well, Mateo has a bigger upside. Your kid is 5'10". He's 154. He plays corner. What is he projected at? And then another thing too, parents need to, and this is what all organizations and coaches need to tell their kids. Every kid is not a Power 5 kid. Every kid is not a Mountain West kid.
Thank you.
So what we do over here at Ground Zero now, and I took that part because Hawk does the Power 5. I'm the guy to talk to about FCS and D2 because we all as parents, when we come in, we say, I just want my kid to go to college. Okay, well, guess what? University of San Diego, not San Diego State, University of San Diego wants your kid, but you want your kid to go to Arizona or Arizona State or Washington State.
You got to dig into that a little more, Ernesto. You got to tell them University of San Diego wants your kid, and
University of San Diego wants your kid, but guess what?
And it costs $72,000 to go there, and they're going to give him 50%, which is going to leave $35,000 left over. Do you have the means to pay or go get a loan for that? And that's the problem. We have too many parents, too many guys, and you said it, that are not saying this stuff up front.
Let them know.
Not D1, and they're not telling every parent that, hey, 80% of a scholarship is better than 0% of not getting anything.
And I tell the parents that, and I tell them from an evaluation standpoint of that kid and his upside and his height, weight, growth, his film, maybe the division he plays in, this school is going to give him a chance. Well, Jernigan got his son at Nevada, and my son is the same height as him. Okay, let's look at this. Let's go to transcripts now. Okay, let's go to. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Let's go at the numbers. Let's go at this kid has been going up to Nevada camps probably since he was a sophomore or a freshman. You're not doing that work. You just want to do the 7-on-7 tournaments and be like, well, I'm connected with Matt. I'm connected with Hawkins. I'm connected with Big Dave. I'm connected with D Hill and feel like, oh, we're going to go D1 regardless. No, it's not going to work like that. Those dudes bust their ass day in and day out talking to college coaches across the country, and it still might not be, nobody's looking at your kid. But you got an FCS school and D2 schools that are willing to take your kid and give them an opportunity at a bachelor's degree and to play some good college football. Like when me and Jernigan talk, this will be the best year for junior college football, D2 and D1 AA FCS. Hands down.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Go ahead, Dave.
I had a kid come to me yesterday. We was at the pylon. Tall kid. He's a quarterback. He looked good too. He's committed to Cal. I think he goes, I don't know is it Inglewood or one of the schools. He's a tall quarterback. He came in at, he said, Mr. Ukulele, because he wanted to know if DJ ever struggled. You see, that perception when people think DJ got it all handed to him. You know, some people tell me that sometimes. Man, Dave, you're lucky you had 2 kids that was big. What people don't know is I told him the true answer. DJ struggled the whole time. It's just you don't see it. And I told him, listen, every process is different. You can't compare your process to DJ's process or another kid's process. Everyone's gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? Your grind, your opportunities gonna come differently. But the fact that you have one school that wants you and you committed to Cal, man, you need to praise God for that.
And you're good. And you're
Yeah.
good.
I told
Because you only can go to one.
right now
Thank you.
to grind and be the best quarterback you can be for Cal. Not to go and see if I can get more offers, not to go, you know, like how can I be a ranked number one? Pat Mahomes was a 2-3 star in high school. What do you understand about that? The hype and the stars.
400 million coming.
And that's why my son DJ blocks me from social media, because he don't want to see all that stuff. I'm telling you, people tell me, how does DJ feel about the Heisman? I'm telling you, DJ could care less about it, because DJ got the same mentality as Kobe Bryant. At the end of the day, you got to walk on the field and play, regardless of what the expectation people have of you. Trust me, DJ is going to be good, because hard work will outwork talent every day. DJ
Every time.
Every day. Nigga put in that, sorry, I said, you know what I'm saying? DJ put in that work every day. Same with Mateo. If you see him catch a touchdown, he don't really like to celebrate. But I hear kids celebrating all of that.
Because he's been there before, Dave. He understands it. And the other side of it, Dave, with what you're talking about, guess what else you got to work on? You got to work on character. Regardless of what these kids say. We ain't got too many character trainers and character coaches, right? That comes from the house. That comes from leaving the house when you go down the street. That comes from when my mother and father split. There was a Mr. Lou at the Boys and Girls Club. There was an Angelo Jackson and Crenshaw Y. There was a Willie West. There was a Coach Garrett, as much as I sometimes don't want to say, he used to get on my nerve. There was a Joe Weekly. There was somebody in the neighborhood. So when you talk about the village, there was character builders and people around you all the time. And y'all hear the story about me and Big D. I was working at a shoe store. Big D was doing his thing in the neighborhood in the game. And I was lacing shoes up, and I hit him like, "What's up, man? I'm trying to get some of this. You know, it's the '80s. Everybody's selling dope, doing stuff. What do? He looked at me and said, "Little homie, stay right in here." He didn't even know me. It took me almost 30 years later to tell Big D, "You don't remember me, Big D?" He said, "I know your face." I said, "I was the 15-year-old boy that worked at a shoe store called Sports City right in the hood on Slauson and Crenshaw. And I asked you one day how to get in the dope game. You told me to stay right where I'm at." Forever grateful. Big D, my big homie today, he was like, "Man, I didn't even know I did that." So at the end of the day, it's character, man. It's what it's the character that we and we have that. You guys have that. And that's why this topic is so needed. And when we start talking about recruiting, we have to still say that. Hey, man, I told my son, I love the fact that we want to go nappy and do the whole cultural thing. I said, "Hey, man, why don't you cut your hair for me? Just do it for me. Just, you know," because the perception of a lot of different things sometimes becomes the reality of who people think you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Perception, reality.
It's reality. So hey, cut your hair. Why, Dad? Hey, when you go in here, hey, I need you to take them earrings out for a second. Because they got what you want. You don't have what they want right now. And until you can get to that particular place, then okay. You know what I mean? Till you get to that place, then you slide the earrings in on. Now, hey, I'm a $100,000 scholarship guy. You didn't know I wore earrings, thought I just had holes in my ears just because? Nah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But it goes back to like you said, with the character, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you got a kid like this, that's part of his character. His character has took a major hit. But you got guys too, you trying to get this kid a scholarship, which goes back to what? Is he coachable?
Yes.
Being coachable and character run in the same lane. So now you got these two different things. We saying he's coachable, right? Now, whoever, just think about all the people who tried to help this kid, he probably has if he has offers. Oh, coach, he's very coachable. Now something like this comes out. I thought you said he was coachable. There's no way he could be coachable with a character like this.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
we all have kids like that.
Heck yeah.
We all have kids like that.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this too, man. Redemption is amazing, bro, because we've all done something just as ignorant as that kid. Maybe not in that same light, and we didn't have it. And
True story.
Redemption
True story.
is awesome because guess what? You're gonna want somebody to show you some grace. That kid, somebody, what? And we all said we wouldn't recruit that kid. But if I got on the phone with that kid, spend some time with that kid, I stand on the table for that kid and say, "Hey, coach, I know it went viral and all that. Immature mistake. He learned his lesson."
I just made a post. The receiver, Antonio, what's his name? Like won the Super Bowl.
Brown.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Did you see how his interview? That's why I posted that. I said, look at him. He got, you know what I mean? He living with what's his name, the quarterback.
John
He got,
Brown.
you know, everyone just had this perception of he's a bad guy, this and that, try to give him a bad name. But man, that's what I love, the type of God we serve, man.
Yep.
He's a forgiving God. And people forgave, you know, and that's why I want to hold that kid. I want to get that nigga, I want to give him a hug, that kid, man.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave.
Yeah.
I worked in mental health hospital. The last thing I want is that kid to get his mindset all jacked up. Everybody has.
That's to go viral to the fact that people start
show him more love and educate him. Be like, look, man, what you did wasn't right, but at the end of the day, I love the fire. We can change that fire to be positive instead of negative.
Right.
Yeah, that's to me. I don't want to blame the kid. You know, he just made a mistake, but at the end of the day,
you can't throw him away, man. You can't throw him away. Hey,
and it goes a different way too, because okay, we know the kid put out the apology on his Twitter and he tagged Cam Newton and all that. So then it entails like, all right, Journey just say, man, don't go over there. I go over there. Circumstances happen, things happen. I learned my lesson, right? So that means I knew what I was doing because I was already given the game not to go over there. So with this kid's apology, is it genuine? To me, absolutely not. What I think is you have to put this apology out because he knows it's going to affect his recruiting. He's going to have this video that what they call trending and it went viral. Yeah. Follow him forever wherever he goes. He's forever going to be known as the kid that bashed Cam Newton at his own camp. He's always going to be known for that. Even though we love the underdog, we love the second chance. That's the greatest play. That's one of the greatest things they say about being in America. You always get a second, third, fourth, fifth chance at greatness, at redemption. Will this kid get the same opportunity? I mean, will somebody like maybe a Deion Sanders and a black coaching staff, maybe an Arizona State with a full black coaching staff, but will he get one where it's a predominantly white university or, you know, we got a couple of our people in there? Probably not.
Yep.
That's just the reality of it because it's now we already know college football is a business. It's a business. And then we always say, well, these are kids in college, but they're considered young adults with the key word being adult. Yeah. You have to make adult decisions. We're not calling mommy and daddy because you're not coming to class.
But I think he could. I think here's what I would say. I would love to see somebody like Cam Newton have that conversation with the young man because Cam Newton has a story. Cam Newton has a story.
He did, and it wasn't easy for him.
Going to Florida, sitting behind Tim Tebow, leaving. He's got a VCR thing that he stole something. His dad took money. He wins the Heisman. He's got all these different things that, again, it comes back to sitting down and having a conversation with these young dudes about it coming back and sitting down with this young dude and saying, this is what history shows you. This is what this is about. You know what I mean? This is what, because our young people are not respecting the history and the elders that came before them, homie. At the end of the day, when I come through the neighborhood, this is who this is, man. and you got
Right.
to respect who this is. You don't really understand, young man, that you're actually playing a game. That black quarterback is only one of few who've ever been to the Super Bowl, Cam Newton. That young man has paved the way for a lot of you guys, young men, to come.
Right.
Like, there's got to be teaching about not only Cam but other people. We're not doing it. I think
Okay.
that's why me and you talked about this before. I think me and Dave talked about it.
Yeah.
Herm Edwards becomes phenomenal in the sense that when you go to ASU and you sit there, you like, hey man, this dude's been a NFL coach, player, now a college coach. He has a grandfather aura about him. When I thought about my son going there, I was like, yo, he offered Isaac. That's gonna be one of them Trump moves. I'm just, hey, ASU, that's where you going. Because I just, that aura, that, and more than football. And so I think that's what becomes one of those things that we got to start teaching that. Again, we talked about on the last show, Dave, it's got to be more than football. It's got to be about your character, because you got to go on a job interview one day.
Right.
You know, you just told Cam Newton you're ass
And trash.
and trash, and you're going to be a free agent. Like,
Right.
you know, again, I'm with Dave. He need a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
You don't know what he was
What's going on somewhere that ain't going on right.
this is the streets take, right? So I'm gonna give you a street take. When you said the kids like they don't care, this goes back to hood mentality type stuff. In the 80s, 70s, 80s, whatever, I'm a 90s kid. I listened to my OGs, right? Regardless if you was gonna do what you wanted to do, your OG stepped in, you listened to him, whatever. You, even if you just went off and still did it. In this day and time, ain't no OGs. Ain't nobody, the kids today, they not listening. See, on my side of town, that tiny local mentality, they don't care about that. They don't care about listening to you, even though y'all both from the same hood and you done did what you did in the 80s or early 90s or whatever. They whole thing, we ain't trying to hear none of that, right? So that kind of rolls into what the millennials are doing, what they go through today. You know what I'm saying? You can be I've been to the league. I did this, I did that. Man, whatever. I don't care.
I'm gonna go farther than you.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so it's along the same lines.
But
if you got little dudes in the hood and you come through and they ain't trying to hear you, they might post up, be like, oh, what's up, blah, blah, blah. But they ain't trying to hear you. We ain't trying to hear none of that. That's how the kids' mentality is too, when it comes to not just 7-on-7, football, period.
But that's why you and I, Dave, and everybody that's listening that has that platform, we have to now believe that every minute, every hour is precious when we have that time with those kids.
That's right.
Think it might be a ride to go get a value meal or go grab some canes, and it's just a 30-minute, but that 30 minutes of conversation, bro, is going to be phenomenal, right?
Yep.
And you don't know what you're going to be able to leave with that kid.
But the
Right.
parent got to be 100% open in letting you have that kid. They can't
Absolutely.
because you
gotta
can't be
also-
talking to my son like that. You can't be doing this like that.
Yep.
Or, hey man, the way
But
you was coming
Ernesto,
at my
we
son.
also got to have this too. You said I have no beef with nobody.
Right.
I called Dave when stuff was going on Winter Circle, and what we do, we kept saying, good, paying homage to them. Dave's paying homage to us. Why? We don't want nobody, we don't want no kids, nobody to see that there's this beef. What we got to have is we got to also not have underlining alternatives, or underlining motive.
Right.
Hey, you going to play with premium? You feel like that's best for you? Whatever happens with you, man, good luck. Good luck.
Right.
Not that nigga trash now. He went over because that is the problem. And now the kid, if it don't happen, he feels like he got egg on his face. He can't come back to Coach Ern and say, hey, I made a mistake, or I went over here and it didn't happen. Because you know what we do? Because we so in our feelings as adults, Told that nigga so. So now what? So you going to JC now, huh? Yeah, yeah. But your mama went for that, huh? Your mom, you know what I mean? Like all of that happens, and now we just doing. We did everything that we said we weren't about to do, or what we wasn't about, and that was it, man. I mean, and that's crazy, dude.
Well, for me, I personally don't do that shit. I mean, I have kids that came through Ground Zero that are at JUCO, and I'm still helping them and pushing them. You know, because like I said, every kid is not going to go Power 5 or go D1, you know, and have these aspirations. And to me, going back to that, because that subject really fucks with me a whole lot when you're not telling the parents the truth about their kids skill-wise, about their body, their frame, what these colleges are really looking for. Stop taking money from parents promising D1 dreams when they have D2 ability. There's nothing fucking wrong with D2. All right. I played at a D2. My first 5 games were all against D1 FCS schools, Sam Houston State, Stephen F. Austin. Got a chance at the league. Guess what? Most of us were all D2. We were D1 athletes, all from Trinity, Bland College, Mount Sac, Chabot, all-star team. All dudes who was grid wire. That shit is old school. Grid wire, All-Americans, all that shit. The league itself, these kids think, oh, I got to go D1. Like a kid will walk onto USC campus and feel like, I go stay 3 years here, I'm going to the league. Not knowing you're one play away from never playing this game again. The league is not made up of all D1 Power 5 players. D2. The highest paid cornerback or DB in the league is from a D2. Go look this shit up.
Let me tell you what the other problem, and then I'm gonna get Mike on, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the movie he's got out and everything. But let me say this to you guys. The other thing is this: it's 4 of us on here, it's multiple people watching. We also cannot be afraid, because this is one of our biggest problems in our community. Who gonna get the credit? Exactly. I don't care who get the credit. See, y'all biggest issue in 7-on-7 right now and all this other stuff is who's going to get the credit. So when we putting out how many we had go here, that's called building your brand. That's called building your brand. I told my partner, Derek, I said, Derek, I don't even want to put out nothing. I don't care. Why? Because in the reality of it all, if I'm doing it for the kid, I don't care. The kid, let the parent, the Bible said, let another man's works praise you. I don't care. Let somebody else tell what he did. Let the kid say, I want to thank Coach so-and-so and my parents or what have you. Right. I'm not trying to build no brand. I'm not trying to build. California recruits, we do what we do. We're a recruiting service. 7-on-7, we play in the training. We do what we do. They go. That's what it is. It's Mr. Ukulele that did what he did with DJ. Man, did a part. We all had a part, but at the end of the day, Bryce played for all 3 of the teams. And at the end of the day, I'm happy to say Bryce Young, I know Craig and his mom I went to high school with are some great people. I'm happy for the kid. I had nothing to do with that. Derek had what they had to do. All the glory belonged to God and belonged to the parents, and whatever happens, happens. But all the brand building and who gonna get the credit, if I need help, Dave, can I call you? Ian Jernigan needs some help with his recruiting. Can I call you? Yes. Can I call Ern? I need somebody to work with my son's footwork. Mike, can I help? Mike Evans on here. Y'all don't know. I've been knowing Mike since he was a little cat. I helped Mike. Mike, was I working with you when you went to junior college, then you went to Nevada? I mean, I'm that old. And I ain't gonna tell everybody, Mike didn't tear his ACL in the game. He tore his ACL front flipping and flipping up at
practice. At practice.
Clowning. And then he went to Louisville. But at the end of the day, it's not about, hey man, put my name on it, man. You know, make sure our brand is it. And that's where we missing the whole goddamn point about. But we hear that kids.
On that note, that shit be bait. I don't get baited into that shit. That should be bait, and that's that recruiting war type shit. This how I look at it. If a kid was at Pro Way with nothing, and then he gets 10 offers, 7 offers, That kid to me, and he comes and plays at Ground Zero. He's a pro way kid. That's just period. Hands down. He's just playing for another organization, and he got a few more offers. He was already on. He already put on.
Hey, maybe he's a Jernigan or Ukulele or Evans. Maybe he's the kid of the family who had him. He ain't. Y'all sound like some of these pastors. You know,
Man.
I deal with these pastors. They my church members, and they belong
Right.
to me.
Right.
These people belong to their parents. They belong to God. They don't belong to no organization and nobody. They all.
The one thing I would say too is, man, how about y'all? Let's ask that kid that. Well, let's see if these parents and let's see if the parents and the kid would be honest enough and say, well, you know, I just came over to play Ground Zero because y'all playing tournaments that go everywhere else, and maybe Pro Way didn't make those tournaments, or you know, they didn't go out to Miami, or they didn't go out to here or there. But that kid had 15 offers from Pro Way. That kid is a Pro Way kid. I'm just gonna keep the shit 100. That's how it is. Now, if you want to add that kid to your recruiting list, do you? I could care less. But a kid that's been built through an organization who had zero, who had nothing, and now he has these, and then he decides he wants to go play here or play wherever. You adding that kid to your recruiting list. Hey, if you got him 1 or 2 offers and you feel like you did that, hey, cool, whatever. That's just not my bag. And it never will be. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we've had this conversation before. That shit, it's weak, but it's part of it's part of the culture now.
Your brand building. Just say you're building your brand, man.
Right.
Hey, I didn't know I was doing it, but I was building DJ's brand and Mateo's brand. Right. So at the end of the day, I went to go play with Premium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a parent and I saw the kicking of the balls and all of that. Do I agree with that? Heck no. But I know, like you were saying, that come with the whole 707. But that my point of taking Mateo to a Premium.
Mm-hmm.
See, everyone has their agenda. Why? My agenda was I needed America to see my son. He can play and run routes as a receiver. Could care less about, you know, winning a championship. My goal was met by catching those videos of him running routes, catching balls over these kids. That's all. That's it. That's all I wanted from
you. Ain't showing no other. You ain't video no other quarterback or nothing. You just video.
And you know what the fun part is? On the field with the official, those CLAs and all them guys. I'm next to them. And
I looked at the video this weekend. I saw him from takeoff to finish. Like that. They ain't filming the quarterback. He ain't
no angles.
Nobody.
No angles.
Bro, it's hilarious. So hey, this week I was trying to record everyone, you know, trying to get other kids because I, like you said, man, Mateo's already done. I already did my job with him, you know. So now I'm trying to
Big Dave got the camera like bam. Somebody said, Dave, did you get my son? No, I ain't seen.
Please, look, at least you know what you're gonna expect from me, right?
Hey, and that's good. And that just shout out, man. You know, love for all you guys, every organization, everybody, man. Everybody has their way. Just we need to just be conscious of what we're doing, man. And
Let me say one more thing, Johnny.
And I appreciate it, man.
I want to say one more thing. And this goes out to the parents. This is what they need to stop doing. Parents need to stop leaving organizations with that bad taste in their mouth and coming over to other organizations and saying what your bad experience was. Okay? Because what you're doing is that's called carryover. All right. I work in social work. That's called stop carrying over whatever negative bag that you had, taking it over there and telling a coach, trainer, CEO, what the fuck the problem was. When you go to that next organization, just say, hey, I want my son to come over here and have an opportunity. Don't say because
my pastor used to say, whatever you had a problem with over there, you just bringing it over there. And what we got to do is stop feeding into it.
Exactly.
If you was a problem over there, you finna be a problem.
Be a problem over here.
Facts.
Exactly. So at
Exactly.
the end of the day, man, it is what it is. I got my man Mike Evans on, man. You guys can stay on. Mike got a new movie out. I watched the trailer. Now, I don't know where I can watch the whole movie at, Mike. So tell us about the movie, man, and what's going on. Like I said, y'all know I've been knowing Mike since he was, I don't know if Mike tried to hoop with me back in the day when I used to be flying around on people.
Nah.
Great athlete. But Mike, tell us about the movie and what you got going on, brother.
Right. I mean, backstory, I'm a kid from the community. I went to Compton High School. I love hearing a lot of the stories about y'all kids and, a lot of kids that's coming from our communities and making something out of their life. Backstory, I didn't receive a scholarship out of high school, so I was one of those kids that, didn't meet the eyeball test. I was 5'8", 180 pounds, really wasn't that fast. I was a beast in the weight room, but, I didn't have what a lot of scouts was looking for. So I did have to take the JC route. So, for a lot of the kids that are going through this process right now and, thinking it's over, it is, different routes that you can take to make it to where you need to go to. And I think that's huge for a lot of people to hear, because I've seen a lot of kids quit just because they ain't getting no offer out of high school. And I do hear a lot of people talking about, if you got that D2, and D1 AA, you go, but it all depends on what that kid feel like they are, who they are, know who they are, and I think that's big, because I had a chance to go to, what school was that? Iowa Peacocks. You feel me? I thought it was University of Iowa when I was about to commit, you know what I'm saying? And they said the home of the Peacocks. And I was like, that I didn't feel like I was, I didn't feel like me personally, I was that type of guy. So, I declined it. You know what I'm saying? And my story is different from a lot of other kids' stories. Some people, if they feel like that's what it is, that's what it is. But I took a risk, because at the end of the day, I could have went JUCO and didn't get off, you know what I'm saying, to go anywhere. So I went to Elko, end up balling over there, end up going to Nevada Reno with Kaepernick, started there. As a sophomore, I was a qualifier. That's another big thing. A lot of kids talking about they want to play at the top level, but their grades ain't shit, and they not really taking this game, serious. And I see a lot of that, and end up going to Nevada and, once I got there, I took it for granted, and lost, my scholarship there. I tore my ACL, got sent back home, went back JUCO, just got my AA, didn't play, got recovered from my ACL. And then I walked on to Louisville, and I got a lot of people telling me, oh, you walking on, they don't know you, But again, I trusted in myself. I knew that I can play ball as long as I got a chance, So I just took a one-way flight out there, met Charlie Strong. It was my first time meeting him, his first time meeting me, and I told him I was going to start at his school. And, he laughed and told me, just because you flew out here, I'm going to give you an opportunity, and had my grades right, end up, talking to Vance Bedford, which, he coached for the Florida Gators and coached at Texas, Coach Charles Woodson at Michigan. He was my DC, and he gave me a chance, and I ended up starting, game one at Louisville, and getting a scholarship, before the season even started. So a lot of people don't have that type of drive and determination to do the shit that I did, and really believe in themselves like how I did. A lot of people, their parents is frontline. That's the difference. I hear a lot of parents, my son is this, but what is your son saying? Because I know my dad, you feel me, he ain't never really got that involved. He just trained me, but far as like, if you ask me what I can do, like I was the mouthpiece. I was the dude that went to go talk to the coaches, and Mike, not my parent.
Mike, I'm going to go back. I was with you in that time. I think I was really had been doing recruiting and had my service. I was helping kids here. Me and you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
And when you tore the knee, and then I heard you were going, you were like, I'm going to Louisville. I think I was talking to Avery. And he's like, you going to, and we were all like, what are they going way out there for? Like, what in the world Mike doing?
Yeah.
And kind of like Darnay Holmes, man, in that same sense, you bet on yourself. You bet, and a lot of kids, a lot of parents in this day of COVID and what's going on, they don't want to bet on themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you took that chance, you did that, but you had a determination that a lot of kids in this era, if they really listening to what you're talking about, man, to go to Elko, because I know I was with you coming out of high school, how bad it was. We sending your information out, and it was like, man,
Yeah.
5 corner, it was this, you know, and I'm like, golly, man, dude can ball, but you took that route and your determination got you there, you know, it put you where you were, you know, all the way to do Louisville to do what you did. And so, and then the biggest part, man, in what we just been talking about today with character, you come back home and you do what many don't do. You say, I want to give back. Now, how is that whole thing now? I'm giving back. I'm doing this movie. Talk about that.
Right. Yeah, so leading up, like, you know, just so everybody can understand why I'm doing the movie, like, I had a chance to go play for the Rams, you know, and that's when it was at St. Louis. And I turned that down to start Lace Facts because I felt like, you know, I could give more in what I'm doing now than playing NFL, if that makes sense. And I know a lot of people call me crazy. Mike, you crazy. But I knew sometimes money don't last, you know, and what I wanted to create for my community and kids, I felt like I can die tomorrow and know that I gave something back. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to be the person for a kid like me coming out. And that's why I started with the kids. And I was super big on branding, you know, because I felt like if I was branded and was known, I would have had a lot more opportunities than I had. So it came from, that's why I do a lot, you know, with branding the kids. But full circle, you know, I started writing scripts for a series. So it's not just a movie, it's a series of short, you know, filmed untold stories about people that, you know, made it, people that, you know, didn't make it, what moves they did to not make it, you know, just so I can inspire a lot of kids that can't tangibly, you know, be with me and hear the stories that I tell the kids at my school and that I'm around and, you know, hopefully inspire, you know, the world of sports, you know. So I just dropped it 2 days ago. A lot of people are sharing it, a lot of people supporting it. I had a kid from Poly, Donovan Turner, as one of the actors in the film, which is his first time acting. I think he just got a UNLV offer. And then I got a young lady by the name of Marilyn Gonzalez. She's a 3-time Olympic boxer. Cole, you know what I'm saying, to play a role. So I'm using real athletes. I'm giving kids opportunities. I'm giving, you know, people that never thought that they would be doing acting, you know, opportunity to do something different. I got a lot of kids that's background, you know, working the film side of things and just showing them different ways, you know, because I play ball. I know it didn't last forever. I end up having to transition. And a lot of these kids that's parents pushing them to go, you know, college pro, that shit ain't gonna last forever. So it's always gonna be something else that you can jump into. And one kid that is in the film, he plays for the OG Ducks, 12U team, Miles. He did one role with us, and then his mom said, "Oh, I see a future." And now he's doing, you know, 10 to 15 since last year roles in films, you know, so that's dope.
Wow. That's awesome, man. That's awesome, man. Well, I want everybody to be able to see. Tell me the name of the film.
Right. So it's called Lace. It's called Lace. It's on YouTube, on Lace Facts YouTube channel. We just dropped our first this 2 days ago, and we got, you know, more coming.
So it's LACED Facts.
Yep, Lace Facts. That's the channel, and the film is called Lace, LACD.
Okay, and it's on there. It's a 34-minute film that people can watch. It's about 34 minutes.
Yeah, 34 minutes. You know, no commercials. You feel me? Like you can go right through. You know, watch it. My boy Trey helped direct it. You know, help edit and film it. You know, so you know, just trying to do something big for the city and give kids something to, you know, do during this pandemic. You know, because a lot of kids, you know, some kids ain't really doing nothing. So
Got it. Awesome, man. Well, Big Dave, I mean, and Mike, I think it's gonna be great. I'm gonna go grab some lunch here in a little while. I'm gonna sit back and watch it. I'm gonna go over here to the firehouse and give me my jerk turkey, and I'm gonna sit back and watch the movie, man. I really appreciate what you're doing, Mike, and if there's anything that I can do, we can do. You know, I like to be a part of it and help. You know, help you with the promotion of the kids and doing what you're doing, man. I think it's amazing.
Man,
Big
appreciate
Dave,
it.
you guys got same thing in the same vein, man. I think there are a million. You know, I hate giving these ideas out, man, because I just do it, but I just love to share. I think there's a million different things that we could be doing on film to show, you know, what's going on. I know you guys did you filmed for Netflix. I don't know what it's going to be called. I know we did Inside Club Football. We filmed a lot. We're going to be filming another the next season here. We did 3 episodes or so. What do you got? You got a show. What is that show going to be about as well? I want everybody to support it. You know, I mean, is it just about Winter Circle and club football, or is it about lives and all that inside of that as well?
Well, that whole thing is about. It started out just showing what Winter Circle did, you know, by doing the pandemic, the pandemic and all.
Okay.
But it's really about Jordan's idea of putting together the what you call it, the club football, and
okay,
it, helped 1,500 kids, and it's between the battle of CIF and California, how they were stopping us from putting this out, stopping our kids playing football, and how you guys came up and how Jordan came up with the idea of club football and was able to do it, and then helping kids to build their brands and stuff like that. It branched out to other stuff with other families, which was really cool.
That's good, man.
I love what this is doing. This is what I'm about. Everybody coming together.
That's it.
Number one, first I want to thank Fig. Fig, gave me the opportunity to come to ground. I mean, not to Ground Zero, but to Premium, and do my thing with my son. So Fig, man, much ups to him. I want to thank. I always used to bang heads with my boy at Ground Zero. Big OG. But at the end of the day, I always made sure I had that respect with him. You know what I mean? I never went overboard with it. I had an issue with my boy, I would go directly to him. I would never get on social media and go crazy or whatever. But then, and with everybody, this whole thing that we're having here, to me, I think it's amazing. I want to root for Ground Zero. I want to root for Mike. I want to root for you. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can eat. They don't need to.
I tell you, Dave, I thought years ago, I told Armand, I said, Armand, you reality show ready. We got the hottest reality show now. Mike, I wrote on the first season of Baldwin Hills, and I still write and do stuff. But I will tell you, the circuit 7-on-7 reality shows, season 1, 2, and 3 couldn't have been better with Armand, Fig, Derek Holmes, yourself, Dave, all of us. That was a show in itself. The almost fights, all the stuff that happened. Show it just takes, and I've told many people, all it takes is getting on the phone and us coming together, and don't worry about who gonna get the credit, who gonna get this, who gonna get. Everybody got to be a part of. If we a car right now, somebody got to just be okay being the passenger seat. Somebody got to be okay being the steering wheel. Somebody got to be okay being the spark plug. Everybody, but everything. Let one of them spark plugs go out. That car ain't going nowhere. So we all got to learn how to work together, man, and do what we need to do. Mike, I've been watching you from afar now, like you getting it in. Our next thing is start with the youth. We got to get back on that youth level and get some control there, because some of the stuff I saw last week, brothers going at it with this, that, and the other. The babies are 6 and 7 years old.
Yeah.
You know, that stuff, they 7, 8 years old. They already are falling in the trap of who they gonna play with, and this dude don't like this dude, and I'm gonna set it straight right now, and daddy balling and all that. Like at the end of the day, we're creating this culture, man, and we just need to make sure we create it in a positive light. At the end
And
of
it's so deep at the youth level, like you said, man, because I remember coming up, you know, where you played for one team, whether you were sorry, 5 kids on the team or not, that's who you played with. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like it's so much different stuff going on. People trying to pull this person here and there. Like I played at Carson, you know, and
I played
at
for
the end of the day,
to tear y'all up, and then y'all used
hey, look, hey, and that's when we had, you know, all-star games where everybody came together, you know, in Jeff, because that's when Carson was Jeff, and you will see Baldwin, Inglewood, and Compton, and it's like you wouldn't dare go play over there.
But Mike, I think we had it because I remember when Beano Bryant left Baldwin and came to Inglewood, and our backfield was Beano Bryant and Curtis Conway. It was like, oh my God, it's finna be over. Then Sean Miller came, and then Sean Miller went back and was tearing our hair. We didn't nobody want to telling y'all Sean Miller used to hit harder than anybody in youth football. We were scared of Sean Miller. Didn't nobody want, I mean, but we had that. And we were Inglewood dudes, and it was Baldwin dudes, and it was the demos. You know, I know Lonnie Pumphrey loved to get on here. It was a demo. We didn't nobody really play the demos went undefeated like 10 years straight. And then we played them Christmas Bowl at Sentinel Field. They beat us 6-0, and they was coming after Curtis Conway because he was from the east side and he played for Inglewood. You know what I mean? So those stories, those things had always been there. But at the level it is now, you would swear little man who's 7, you would swear he's Walter Payton. Like these cats are fighting over this little dude, man. Like for real?
It's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, can I say? I got some youth kids' dads asking me, "Hey, did they pay for your gas to come practice youth football?" I never heard that, man.
Like, hey, dude, they didn't know Harvey Jernigan. Ain't nowhere in the world they would have offered my daddy gas money or some money for me to play. He'd have taxed everybody. He'd have got everybody. Come on, man.
E, I got a question for E. E, has anybody? What do you think of this? A parent called me, and the son plays with Premium, and another coach from another establishment. I don't even want to say the name, but he called him to come and play for his team 7-on-7.
Right.
Now, how do you feel? Because the parent felt some type of way, because the parent felt like, why didn't that coach call her? So what in the wrongful feeling like that is what I'm saying.
I done heard this story. Go ahead, Ernesto. I done heard these all the time. So go ahead.
So a coach called a 7-on coach called the kid directly instead of calling the parent.
Yes.
I personally reach out if I see a kid and I know he plays for a team, I don't reach out to him. But if it's a high school kid and I see maybe a highlight or something on Twitter, I always reach out to that kid and ask, do you play 7-on-7? Who do you play with? This is who I'm with. This is the organization I'm with. If you're interested, have your mom or dad give me a call. Because a kid is a kid, and all kids, what they want to do, they just want to play.
Yeah.
A kid will play for a team on Friday, a different team on Saturday, and a different team on Sunday. So they just want to play, especially if you're with an organization that has a national name and that carries weight. Because the kid, these kids live on Twitter, and they always trying to one up each other on, he got this offer, they got this offer, or they trying to be aligned with a team that has offers. Like, we have teams that are offer teams. It's not a mystery or nothing. You have teams that 15U, they offer. A lot of those kids are offered.
Hey, Ernesto, but let's ask the real question.
Definitely that parent should feel a certain way, because I'm talking to the parent directly. I don't want to talk to the kid. But my thing is, how did that how'd you even get that kid's number?
But let's
Yeah.
ask the real question. Here's the question today. Do you feel it's disrespectful? I had a
Yeah.
guy call my son. First of
Mhm.
all, my son's a minor.
Right.
Day and time that we live in, I don't know if you want to touch on kids. Don't call my kid. Call me.
Right.
Number
Right.
one, I don't know you.
Right.
Don't call my son might be very impressionable by what you say. So don't call my
Exactly.
kid. Call me. Number two, how many times has any of the 7-on-7 dudes had respect? Right?
Mm.
Because I wear a wedding ring. Don't this what this say? I'm married, right?
Right.
So you see my wife with a ring. Come on, fellas, we all players, whatever. Everybody look good, lady look good. You might look and say, man, she bad. She got a ring on. What does that ring tell you? She's taken.
Right.
And at some point, when do you have the respect enough that when you see a kid with a jersey and he's playing,
Yeah.
do you say in yourself, that kid plays for another team? See, a
Shit,
lot of
I
cats don't, y'all, a lot of cats want to play that game, but
Mhm.
I done read the text messages with, hey, get at me. We can do better for you over here.
Mhm.
Right?
And see, that goes into that
That's just
recruiting
like you
shit.
texting my wife, nigga.
Right.
I like what he did, though. I like what he said. He said he made sure to tell the kid to talk to his parent, that I want
Yeah.
to talk to his parent.
But at the end of the
He
day,
clarified that. But this dude that reached out to the kid didn't say that. He just told the
Right.
kid, my team, whoop-de-whoop, and that's it. Hung up. And the kid told the mom, and the mom got pissed.
Right. because at the end of the day, here's what we miss, and Mike brought up even in his situation. Sometimes a kid may be being taught a lesson by the team that he's on. You don't see him every day, just like we said. You don't see his work ethic, right? We don't see what he's not doing, but he feels he's better than the dude that's working harder than he is on that team. So
Right.
all we want to do is, because we get in the transfer game, oh, I'm finna go somewhere else. I'm going over here. And so at some point, even in ministry, we as pastors, somebody said, okay, you want to come to church here? All right, before you take membership here, let me call your former pastor and see, who you are. Hey,
Right.
see, we talking about respect now. Hey, Mike, what's up? Hey, you got a kid that played for you. He kind of on the move. I don't know if you know, but I just got off the phone with moms and pops. See, because let me tell you what happens. This is what we don't do. Hey, I'm calling you. I don't want you to say nothing though. We ain't made a move. Well then, no. You can't call me.
Exactly.
You're not committed. You calling me sneaking, but you don't want to tell them you ain't leaving.
Exactly.
You're
Yep.
not leaving. So if I can't call Ernesto or I can't call Fig, I can't call Matt, I can't get on there with my boy Ed. Hey Ed, y'all got a kid over there named so and so, because he just hit me up. I need to know what's cracking with him. Talking, he's saying he ain't feeling it. The mom and daddy is saying blah blah blah. Man, you know what? And then you'll get this. Oh, let him go then. You be like, oh yeah, he must can't play. They just let him go. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
that becomes the respect. But see, when you say, I'm cool with everybody, but the minute you won't pick up the phone and say, hey, Fig, this dude just hit me. He go to your school. It's what it is. Hey, I just want you to know, holler at moms and pops, because I'm not finna get into no verbal with you over social media, and we not finna be doing this when guess what? The seed was planted by moms and pops.
Right. Which goes back into carrying over whatever they experienced
That's where
was
it's
here or
planted.
there. Right.
So moms and pops got to be like, yo, hey, Fig, I'm about to see what I'm gonna do. I don't know if we gonna be here. Or hey, Armand, I don't know if we gonna be here. We gonna weigh our options. I had a dude, Damon Hill, out here. I respect a lot, and he told me, he said, I took my son to everybody's tryout, and then I made my decision. I told my son, wherever, if they all said you made it, we gonna make the decision, and that's where you gonna stay. Bottom line, that's just what it's gonna be. But all the back door and the we don't do this. Hey, let me tell you something. Just like I told them cats about Mike Krzyzewski. Everybody pay. Everybody pay. All these dudes is giving somebody some gas money or some free, a little bit off your registration, or you don't got. Everybody's doing it. So let's stop playing the game like I don't
remember-
do that. We
Yeah,
don't
no,
do that over here.
It
Mike
was
Krzyzewski pay at Duke. So if Mike Krzyzewski pay, you pay.
Yeah,
If Nick
no,
Saban pay, you pay. Y'all niggas stop lying to yourselves.
no,
Stop lying.
D, I remember when they were all mad at Armand because he was charging. I was like, why are you mad at Armand for? It's a business. He's a CEO. It's not up to Armand. It's up to the parents if they want to pay for it. That's it. That's on them. So why you mad?
And
He's
it's
just
up to the organization if they want to pay too.
Armand just
You
service.
tell me we going to Florida and you gonna pay for Ian Jernigan because you want him to play and you got my room. My bags is packed. I'm going. I don't have to pay.
See, a lot of the times too, this is what a lot of people don't understand. They look at it, they go, Ground Zero, they over there charging them kids $700, blah, 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 blah. But they don't know about the kids that we actually sponsor.
Yes.
The kids who can't, the kids that can't pay. See, that's
Man.
never talked about. But another thing that people need to realize too, stay out of people's pockets or whatever everybody else is doing. Everybody gets this shit confused, and I'm gonna break this shit down. I'm gonna keep it 100 like I always do. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Armand's recruiting service has nothing to do with Ground Zero.
Yeah.
Period. My training services, Anthony Brown's training services, because that's my business partner. He trains the DBs, I train the receivers. Our training services has nothing to do with Ground Zero, totally separate. That's why you see those DB kids in AB Square Tech t-shirts, because he totally wants to keep it separate from Ground Zero. Why? Because we do have kids that play for Premium. We do have kids that play for Premier. We do have kids that go to different high schools, and we in the city 2 days a week. Why? Because we're not trying to deter any kid from any 7-on organization. Period.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Chris Forrest himself, he premium up. Has his son comes down from Oregon State, it comes and he gets that training. Do we knock him for it? Oh, you should have come and played a game with it. No, we don't even bring this shit up. We laugh about different tournament
we're
shit.
not banging. We're not banging. Y'all saying that's a gang mentality that I can't go over in this hood and all. That's gang mentality.
Right. So we don't,
No,
and we don't
leave that
put that
alone.
on, we don't put that on the kids because, and the parents got to understand too. Oh, well, if I go and my son, I don't want my son to go train with Griff, or I don't want my son to go train with Brown because they Ground Zero. No, we only Ground Zero on Saturdays and Sundays and weekends when there's a tournament. If you want your kid to come train with us and you want to do that, that has nothing. We don't try to recruit kids under that or nothing. Now, I will say this. I will say this. If my son is training with Jernigan, let's say you train running backs. Matter of fact, let's go B-ball. You a hoop trainer though, right? Yep. You got Pro A, AAU, yep. Right? Now, if my son comes to me and says, you know what, Dad, I love Coach Jernigan, the way he pushed me and where I want to play for him. That's my son's decision. Why? Because Jernigan has instilled something and put something in my son where my son wants to be under him forever until he goes to college. That's the decision. That happens.
There's only one thing that I deal with that part is that if that's what it is from beginning to the end, because we like to say it's my son's decision,
right?
When we don't want to make it the decision, you know what I mean? Because I'm still a parent.
But you're still a parent. I'm still a parent. So if my
son's decision goes as far as I allow his decision to go, and I'm just gonna be realistic with it. And we like to use it's my son's decision as an excuse sometimes to say what we don't want. I want to be real in that. The other thing is again, you say Ground Zero is this and this is what it is. Mike has his company, but he does this. At the end of the day, we're not living in this gang mentality of I can't train with this. I got all Apple products in my office right now. My computer. If Bill Gates want to give my nonprofit some money and he tell me that I gotta start having PC stuff, then all this Apple stuff is up out of here. It's gone.
Well, send it to me.
At the end of the day, I don't care, right? But it's whoever's gonna help, and everybody realizes this, and I realized this when I started my company in '95. parents will do whatever they need to do when they love their
For the
kids
kid. Yes,
for their kids.
absolutely.
At the end of the day, I can't be mad. At first, I took it personal, and I was sitting there like, "Why are you mad? This dude went over here. Why are you mad? Because this dude, their parents is doing. Their parents is letting them go over here.
Exactly.
That's what they feel. I just think the underhanded stuff is done, and I think that the bigger part is let's just be men up front. Hey, yo,
Right.
so coming over there, he gonna come and say we didn't do this, and you said it. Stop allowing people to dump their trash from the last thing, because the last thing was you wasn't better than 3 of the kids we had in front of you. That's why you wasn't playing.
Yeah. Now let's touch on that. So now, when they bring it over, oh, this is how they are over there. For one, coaches need to be like, hey, let me stop you right there. I don't need to hear nothing about what you did at that organization. I just want to see what your kid can do, right? But I never put nothing on the kid. What I said was my son wants to go play with him because he's established a relationship because of your training, right? How you train my kid, right? It's still up to the parent. The parents, they pay. The parents are driving their kids, right? But you got parents, what? That just dip on organizations and pop up. And next thing you know, you see pictures going up of the kid in this jersey, and the parent never said nothing to Jernigan. Hey man, we was leaving you, right? You just see a post. Now somebody done tagged you in it, and you know what I'm saying? And
But
that's the problem.
isn't that the kid? Isn't that the parent and the kid? And I get it. It's
The
a
parent
respect
needs to
thing.
be what up front 100. Hey Jernigan, hey man, we about to leave and go over
So
here.
you know what the attitude of the parent is?
Fuck you.
I spent my money. No, I spent my money, and I provided my money to your service, and now I'm not providing no more. I don't got to call and tell you anything. And it's
I think the more parents that pay is the ones that's more solid. I think it's the ones you do more for. The ones you do more for.
Yeah.
To me, the reason why they're more solid because they sold into your process.
Absolutely.
So it's not, they can't just leave. Like if you come to buy, actually gotta pay.
But I guarantee y'all been in this long enough to know the people that didn't pay full price give you more problems than a nigga that paid the whole thing.
Because if you're paying, you leave. You have no attachment. You
No
didn't
attachment.
that.
Put it this way.
I learned all that. I learned all that shit the hard way because being young and I'm out here doing hella. You feel me? I was picking one kid up from the projects and bringing them to my school for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Put it this way. We had a
hey,
kid.
look. I go knock on the door. I go knock on the door one day. They just don't answer. I'm like, damn. hey, they didn't even tell me they was leaving. I'm like, nigga, you could at least told me, bro, I'm not coming back.
That's what I'm saying. Say something.
That's respect. That's just some bad, bad stuff.
That's what you get though. That's what you get when you do for it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why nobody should be doing exactly what Ernst said, counting people's pockets, because let me tell you something. I started my company and I was $199. Then I was $299. And I couldn't get nobody to sign up. Lo and behold, when I put a value on it at $34.97, I've done very well in my business. Because guess what Dave said? It costs. Nobody asked because and then you start understanding like, man, you want to pay, people pay for what they value. At the end of the day, it's value, right? If I ask y'all right now what kind of car y'all want, go get whatever you want. Ain't never one of y'all pulling up to the Hyundai dealer. Ain't nobody.
Right.
Ern is going right to the double R's. Big Dave want the double R. Mike want a Ferrari. Go get it. That's what's going to happen. Don't nobody go, oh, no, man, just give me the Accord fully loaded. Ain't nobody saying that.
Hey, look. When it comes to one thing I learned with this training thing, right? And one of the reasons when I brought my son through Ground Zero, right? Because I could have coached, whatever, and I didn't. I wanted to be on the sideline and actually watch. It wasn't because what Ground Zero sent all these kids to college and all that other stuff and the colors and none of that, or being one of the top teams. It was because it was about quality over quantity. It was the teaching. It was the teaching, bro. Period.
But most of us don't know that. Most of the parents don't know that. You know what most parents want? They covet the social.
They want the offers.
They want all of the flight. Like somebody I'm leery on signing any daddies up that didn't play past JV. I don't want to talk to you. If you didn't play varsity sports, it's kind of tough for me to talk to you and then you try to tell me you know everything, because those are the dudes. You know the daddies that really didn't play.
Hey, it probably was a tough program to crack.
You know, we're here talking about 7-on-7.
Yeah.
But let's hold on, let me decline this. But when we talk about the world of linemen, you know, PTP, there's Giant Skills,
right?
And there's brothers. The front is really cracking right now.
Right.
Yep.
You know, Chris Talamov, the whatever CEO from Chris Talamov and Penn, they're brothers, right? PTP,
right.
Giant Skills are brothers.
Right.
My brother and me, we all grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
We're all from Pomona, all of us.
Wow.
So, and we have these. So unlike you guys have all the 7-on-7. We all have the linemen. So generally have the respect with each other, because it's more than you know. So Giant Skill kids, we don't get mad if Chris don't get mad if his kid he has a D lineman and want to come to work out with Yona, my brother.
Right.
We don't get mad if they want to go to PTP with Penn, you know, because so we're lucky like that at least we built the relationship. We're all from the same city. We all grew up in.
But Dave, that's also a cultural thing within us that
it's pretty cool that we all came from Pomona.
Yeah,
you know, all of them.
But that becomes a cultural thing where cats are always on guard. You know, Mike can go into Compton. You know what? When I roll into Compton, I gotta go in Compton. I'm Rockhead's my guy. I'm Rock Johnson. That's who, you know, Santana Block. I gotta deal with Rock, right? Yeah. I done been to Looters Park and played and got up out of there with the church. Mike, we was in there and somebody at church, we had on the Blue Peace stuff and we didn't know what we was doing at Looters, you know, but that's what I'm saying. That culture becomes something that's totally different. And then when we bring it to, we still bring that attitude, and we got to lead that attitude to where we can appreciate. When I'm talking to E. Scott and he like, hey, take this dude to Griff or Jay Finn. Well, Jay Finn and Griff don't have to have an issue because they both train receivers. Be like, what can I get from Griff? What can I get from, you know what I mean? Take this dude over to Brown and then let Mike get talk to him. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we don't have that Mike because we still battling within each other.
But see, to keep it 1,000, this is the whole real, and this is the bullshit. Dudes feel like, oh, well, if I got this GZ receiver and he go over here and he go work with Coach Fig, oh, he gonna take my kid. That's the real shit. Motherfuckers be afraid to say, oh shit, you out there in LA? Okay, let me call. Oh man, he gonna take my kid. I don't want him taking my kid. You shouldn't go train with him because he gonna take my kid. Can't nobody sit up here and tell me that shit ain't true. That's why you'll knock another dude. That's why you knock a dude because you don't want that dude. You don't want that kid to go train with this certain dude because you don't like him, or y'all got personal issues, or you done created a personal issue. So now don't go work with him, and you scared to lose that fucking kid. But if you got dudes.
Ain't that the same thing that happens when, okay, Big Dave and them say they got, you know, owner, that's my guy. His brother at Big Owner's gonna have a D-line camp at Bosco, and he says for everybody. You don't think everybody from Santa Margarita and Olu getting an email saying don't be at that goddamn camp because it's on the campus of Bosco?
Right, exactly.
It's the same thing.
Same thing, exactly. But it's up to you as it's for one, it goes to is the parent loyal to that organization and then just trying to look out for their kid to get the best training. Okay. And it was referred. Dudes are not referring dudes to other dudes because they're afraid to lose the kid or they got some type of personal issue. Plain and simple.
I know this dude know his stuff. And I'm
Right.
sitting there. And I've had to have that conversation and go, hey, I know you play over here, but Anthony Brown, every Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Thursday, he's at the Mecca. You need to run over there. Here go his number. And somebody said, and then you know what the first thing somebody say? Ain't you pro way?
You know what I'm saying? But guess what? That training has nothing to do with Pro Way. It has nothing to do with Ground Zero. It has nothing to do with Premium. It has nothing to do with Eats. Nothing to do with Lace Facts. Nothing to do with OG Duck. We're talking about training, not 7-on-7. We're talking about training.
It has
So-
everything to do with just that kid himself.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with winter. We're talking just about training.
But we
And
had that
people
same
get
guys, but we
people are
had that-
getting both. They get the training world and the 7-on-7 world confused and combining the two. Just
But
like
they
you
came out
can't
of the
combine
same
the
thing, though. Ernesto, they came out of the same thing. See, when we really explain it, that's why I always say I will sit in front of anybody and talk about my recruiting service because I can articulate my business better than because I study my business. So when we deal with 7-on-7 and we deal with training, most of your 7-on-7 started with training, and 7-on-7 was supposed to be the byproduct of what you've been training for to
Right.
go see. Anthony
Right.
Brown, me and Anthony Brown, I'm standing there. He was like, we don't care about winning tournaments. We want to see what we've been training you to do
Exactly.
actually transferring to the
To
field.
11-on-11.
Right. So the biggest part is that being explained when a kid signs up for 7-on-7? When
For
you
us,
combine, here's the deal.
Yeah.
When you combine the package of 7-on-7 and you get 4 sessions of training, you can't say it's separate because it's combined, it's there. So you got to just say, hey, he trains for us, right? Like you said, he trains for us with his own training. And when you sign up with us, you get 4 of those sessions.
But the reason I say they separate because you're not paying for, if you're paying the trainer, you're paying him. You're not paying Ground Zero. Those training fees don't go to no 7-on-7 fees.
Then they should be brought up in your 7-on-7 meeting at all.
And we do that. That's what I'm saying. So we from the very gate, we tell parents what it is. Because
Right.
like I said, we may have a kid. We got 3 kids that train at Winter Circle, and probably more than that.
Mhm.
And we don't say, well, you train with Winter Circle. You can't play for us. No, but it's organizations out there that say that shit. I'm pretty sure Hawkins. I'm pretty sure Hawkins, Matt, my guy D Hill, they still represent kids who are not, that don't play for them. They still help out kids that don't. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So why can't a kid come and train with a Giant Skills, a PTP? And another thing is, my son, who's 15 years old, has been training with PTP since he was like 7 years old because he's a linebacker. Period. He ain't trying to cover nothing. Now you want to go to DB. So now you got to make that transition from a linebacker mentality to a DB.
Yeah.
I care nothing about who he's with or what organization it was. I care about quality. I want my son to have quality training so he can have quality tape, so he can probably get a quality scholarship and opportunity. And parents are missing that because dudes have underlying personal issues, bro. That's really whole shit. Straight up. It's straight up whole shit.
Yeah.
That's just the facts of it. You got to separate the two. Recruit, you should be like, hey, look, this is my recruiting service. It has nothing to do with 7-on-7. So even if you come and play for us, look, if your kid just want to play, come play. If you want to later talk about recruiting, then we'll talk on the side. This is what it is. You don't have to sign up for training. If you want your kid just play 7-on-7, go play. Now, once you see your kid, you see has some stuff to work on, you want to talk about training, or you might live far, you might live in Santa Clarita. Who's out near Santa Clarita that I can get you to or refer you to? I'm not even taking any of that money when I refer you to that person. I got a guy, I have a guy that's a quarterback coach. We don't have a quarterback coach, a quarterback guy over here at Ground Zero. I refer guys out to Danny, who's a premium guy. Then talk with Danny on occasion, sending them out to the SGV area. I got my guy, Brian Porter. I've sent quarterbacks too. And he be out in the OC and the IE. I care nothing about. And I've sponsored kids and paid for it and broke bread. $100 sessions out of my own pocket for kids that do not play for Ground Zero. So all that other shit, man, dudes just be on straight whole shit because you really not in it for the kids. You in it for clout, glory, having your name tagged to a fucking offer and all this other shit, and then your pockets.
And then
That's
to
the
say
thing.
who's doing something better than each other, man. I will say
Right.
this, nobody's
It-
doing
it-
anything.
It go
better
back. It go back to when we go back to Fox Hills and we leave and say who got more numbers.
Yeah.
Who
And
got more numbers?
But it go back to this, man. It doesn't matter. Like there's a group of people that I can help. There's a group of people that you can help.
Right.
I don't get mad at y'all because y'all ain't said, D, when can I come to Bakersfield and do a camp? We need you. I want you to come. It's
Right.
real ways. I would love to get on out here and put them in the facility. We got linemen up to date that need it. I want to put a lineman camp there. Mike, I need a DB guy. I've called Vic from the DB lab. Vic be doing a lot of stuff. I told Brown, hey, he said, can I get to Santa Clarita? Sometimes people don't like coming over the hill. But there's been my mentor in this besides Derek Holmes was Tony Perry. Don't nobody fool with the Fresno kids like Mike Ware and those guys. And Fresno got dogs all day. They coming out of Fresno.
They do.
West side
They
of
got
Fresno.
some athletes.
Athletes, right? So you got T coming down from Sacramento. You got Big C and those guys up there. We all have a place, man, and then we just be happy with that place. It's
And I think dudes got people got to understand
man,
too.
at the end of the day, that's what
People got to understand too. You got to look at the guys who really helping kids that travel. I mean, for real, like I'm an LA dude. I'm LA. I'm between some. I'm 39th and Western. Yeah, I reside in the IE. I'm not an IE dude, but it's kids out here in the IE in Rialto, which is Little LA, that need training. They need help. They need mentorship. I go back and help my community out 2 days, 3 days a week. Sunday, I'm driving to Santa Clarita. We in Santa Clarita. So how do you not think these are dudes who are really trying to help kids that are really about kids?
Yeah.
ODM, out the mud. Love that dude. What that dude doing, he be doing. I love that dude. What Mike did. You know what I'm saying, with the school. I love seeing that shit. These are dudes who really be moving around, traveling. Car
Mike,
full of
are we
kids.
getting the school back? Are you coming back with the school? What are you doing right now with the school? I know you closed down. What are you doing now?
No, I put a lot of my kids came from LA, Inglewood, so I moved closer. I'm in Linwood now.
Okay. And
I'm
you
actually here right now. So I mean,
got the school now. You got a building there now, and that's where you at.
no, yeah. I still got the school. I still got the school going.
But tell me a
About
little
50,
bit,
45, 50 kids.
and what in the school is you do the training and school every day.
Yeah,
like-
we do this. We do the training, and we have credentialed teachers on site. So, trying to get these kids the best education they can.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely gotta get with you because my next move is Bakersfield Urban Prep Academy STEM school. I'm on that right now. I have the Man Up Foundation, and we need to bounce those things off each other, man. Anybody that need to get their nonprofit status, get with me. We're gonna be doing some. I have another podcast and website called Blaction Plans by Black Men in Action companies. We get together, and one of the biggest things is a lot of guys start doing a lot of work, and then they don't have nonprofits. And so Eric Muhammad, my partner, that's what he does. He will set your nonprofit, help you get it going. And right now, the dude is just doing it for a minimum of, it ain't even like, it's almost like basically free. He's setting cats up. So those are the things that we should be doing, man, right now is really setting each other up. I know Dave is going out and speaking. I'm speaking more now. God can. Sports motivational speaking. I'm doing a lot of different engagements talking about my life. Stuff we can be doing, man, bouncing stuff off each other, man. And I think that's just what we really need to be doing, man, right now. So
a lot of opportunities has come through my son.
Yep.
And he's the guy right now at Clemson. So, I get a gang of calls. My relationship as a bodyguard, 20 years in the industry, worked for years and all of that. But I never really knew that those were resources. To me, the people that paid me because I did a job.
Right.
But people honestly was trying to help me, you know, to try, hey, what do you do? What do you want to do? So that's basically what I'm doing now. You know what I'm saying? Building relationships with these guys and learning how to use those resources of those people and family and friends. Because I took care of their families. You know, I took care of I protected their family and their kids. So I'm trying to use all of that and try to take that, just bless these kids with it. You know.
That's it, man. Well, that's good, man. Well, man, that's dope, man. I love having y'all on, man. I think we tackled some stuff. We said some stuff. Now it's just about being about the action, man. You know what I mean? Like actually putting it into action. All of us are going to be put in a situation where we're going to have to either pick up the phone and say, hey, man, we just talked about this. You know, it is what it is. Let's support Mike's movie. Mike, I'm gonna put it on.
I'm about to go watch it right now.
Me too.
I'm gonna watch it, and then I may put it on and have a watch party. You know, but I want to be able to watch it and do that. I want to support you in that. All you guys are gonna be invited to the Man Up Foundation presents I Will, I Can, I Must Sports Symposium. We got a great speaker, Big Dave. He's gonna be speaking there.
Really? I didn't even know.
We already asked Mike to come. Hey, we're gonna have him come. I'm gonna get you guys the dates. We're gonna be sponsored by Phenom. We're gonna make sure all the boys get taken care of, man. And we're gonna have that symposium coming up. We want to have it in the summer before they go back to school because we want to give away a whole bunch of backpacks and school supplies. So as they get you know, allowed to go back into the school, we want to give them that. In an entire weekend, man, of the Man Up Foundation, I Will, I Can, I Must Succeed. And so we're going to be talking a little bit more about that as the days come up. We're putting that together. Some phenomenal speakers and guys that are going to come about and talk to the kids. And I like to have each and every one of you guys there and get the kids there. So all free, all sponsored, you know, making sure they all get there. And we do this thing the right way, man, and make sure each one of them get a backpack and some school supplies and some encouragement that they can do it, man, that they can make it. You know what I mean? So let's support one another, man, and keep it cracking, man. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay corona free. Get your mask. I don't know if you're getting the vaccine, but just stay out of people's faces.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Bless you, brother, man. Have a good